guys, Dr. Seamus here, and I'm going to be breaking down a sample report of a small intestine bacterial overgrowth 3-hour breath test. And this is actually a test that I got on myself. So this is my sample report here. And I just want to familiarize you guys with what this test specifically will show. So if we look here, this is measuring hydrogen and methane gases. And so for the patient here, it starts off with ingesting a lactulose solution. It's a sugar solution. And then the patient at various intervals will then breathe into these test tubes, and it's going to capture the air that has potentially hydrogen and methane gases in there. And this comes from any sort of bacteria that are present in the small intestine. They will ferment that lactulose solution and create hydrogen and methane gases as a byproduct, and that then gets captured in the gas that is exhaled. And so we can see that there are different markers. So there's a baseline, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, and this test goes through 3 hours, and at various intervals, the patient will breathe into a test tube. And so when it comes to the hydrogen gas here, I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. What we can see is that if there is a rise of 20 or more parts per million from the baseline to the 90-minute mark, that is going to be positive for SIBO as far as the hydrogen goes. And so for mine here, it went from 9 to 7. So if this number was at 29 or 30 or 40, that would be positive. But fortunately, it's not. It's much lower than that. And then when it comes to the methane here, we want to see something less than 10. And so throughout here, it is less than 10. It does crawl closer to 8. I would say that can get to be somewhat normal, as this is more of the large intestine range up here when it gets to the S7 and the S8. And so we know there are ideally more bacteria in the colon than the small intestine. But generally throughout, we want to see this methane number less than 10. And then it also shows the CO2, and we see these check marks next to it. So this is good. This is measuring air quality and making sure that the test tubes do not have any contamination present in them. And then it also specifies the actual time. This is what the patient would record as far as when they breathed into the test tube at the various intervals. And as we scroll down, it talks about more of a commentary as well. And this is something the patient can read through. A lot of what I kind of broke down verbally already, but it talks about evaluation for hydrogen, and it transitions into the methane and gives a little bit more specifics there as well. And so this is actually kind of similar to how I would go through a report of findings with a patient. We would do a Zoom session and a screen share just like this, so that I can talk through some of the results the patient got. They can ask any pertinent questions that may arise as well. So guys, again, this is just a sample SIBO report of actually a test from myself, and just wanted to give you guys an idea of what a sample report would look like, and also how on a report of findings I would navigate that with a patient. So guys, thank you for watching this video. Hope you found it insightful, and we'll see you in the next video.